Other weird things I've done in order to get financially fit, and this one I did pretty early in life, but it still serves me today. I bought my first house at 23 years old. This was not a big home. It was nothing that to write home about. It was a 3-2, 1,200 square foot home in Bryan, Texas. It was about $100,000. You only have to put 3.5% down. So I had saved up a few grand from working through college, plus having a job after school. So I put that 3.5% down, and I rented out the other two rooms. I rented out the other two rooms for a couple years, and then I had some people leave, and then it was just me and my sister in the home. And so I looked at, okay, what market am I in? Bryan College Station. And on on weekends, on game day weekends, people need a place to stay. So I started Airbnb out the whole entire place for those game day weekends, that I can make my mortgage essentially in one weekend. And then after I moved out, I turned into a long term rental for me. So right there in this one single home, starting at 23 years old, I was able to house hack. I was able to get a taste of the Airbnb life, and then it turned into a long term rental for me. All of those things set me up for success down the line. I eventually took that money from the sale of this home, and that was my seed capital for the next phase in this, which was land investing. And so at the time, I was like, man, I know I could make better use of these funds. But looking back on that, that was such an awesome experience, and it really just allowed me to wet my feet in multiple different areas of real estate investing. And so I look back on it, and I'm very thankful that I made that move at that point in time. Sometimes I kick myself, think, man, I should have just kept doing that. If I, like every year, just put a few grand down on the next house, continue to rent it out, especially when you're young and single. And if you can do that 5, 10, a dozen times, package that up and refinance, move that into a big multifamily. Like there's so many other things I could have done, but looking back on where it got me now, it introduced me to the land space, gave me my seed capital for that, introduced me to note investing, and got me to where I'm at today. So, number 5 on the list, bought my first home at 23, and I'm grateful every day that I did.